And it just takes me a second to go live. And again, if you look at the top right-hand corner, it'll tell us when we're live. So it used to be the top left-hand corner. So I'm like, what's going on? How come it looks so different? Hello, everyone. If you're watching, I wanted to come on here and introduce you to one of the beautiful souls that I have the pleasure of working with. She joined my Nourish Your Temple program 13, 14 weeks ago, a few months ago,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
And I just thought that we would come on here today and share a little bit of her experience. So, Kiana, if you want to tell us who you are, where you're from, and if you can remember, where were you at when you were thinking about joining the Nourish Your Temple program?
Okay. So my name is Kiana. I live in Fort McMurray. I'm originally from Newfoundland. Um, I like thinking back to when I first, like right before I started, I was just feeling like stuck. Like I didn't know what to do. I was kind of like, just felt like I wasn't doing the things that I loved and I wasn't treating myself the way I should have been or that I wanted to. And I was working with Jenny, like I joined her sacred, um, or it was a school community for the sacred self empowered. Um, and I was already doing like the community calls and stuff, which was amazing. Um, but then when she offered this, I knew that I it was meant for me. It was like calling me and I felt it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So it wasn't even like a hesitation, it sounds like. It's
No, it was the universe just sent it to me like it was aligned.
beautiful, beautiful. I
Yeah.
love that. When you think of when you first joined the program, I mean, whenever you start working with a coach or joining a program or anything like that, it's like, okay, I don't know exactly what to expect here. Like, you can tell me what's included, but I don't really know what to expect. If you look back over the last couple of months, like what has been the biggest surprise that you've encountered in our time together?
So I'd say surprise was just learning about self-sabotage and
Mm.
actually experiencing how much like self-sabotage that I had. And like, it comes up, but learning about how to manage it and how to deal with it. And I just have a totally different outlook and perspective on, and also the things I've learned through this program were just so many amazing lessons that like gave me so much insight and just how kind I have been to myself and the thoughts that I'm thinking like it's totally different. My day to day is totally different. So it's that I knew it was going to happen because I knew it was going to be amazing, but it was also a surprise to see how much self-sabotage that I was feeling before. And now I'm working on getting through it, right?
Yeah. No, this isn't a question I typically ask on these type of calls, but I think it's worth asking because a lot of people who are listening, and I can see there's people watching already, so please say hello. If you know Kiana, let her know you're here as well. And if you don't, like just send her some love because she's obviously a woman on her mission, on her journey, and we could all use a little extra love and support when that is the case.
Yeah.
But again, I feel like anybody who's watching right now, they're going to resonate with that. We all self-sabotage. Every single one of us, we self-sabotage. And it's not easy to move through that resistance and to do the things that, and I love how you corrected yourself earlier because I always say don't should yourself. It's
Yeah.
like you knew that there were things that you should be doing, but really it's things that you want to be
I
doing,
wanted to be
but
doing
then we
exactly.
sabotage. So can you give like a little bit of an example of how you move through that?
Yeah. So, I mean, I recognize like I'm stopping myself before I do certain things. Like, or if I'm about to do something and I'm like, you know what? That is just self-sabotage completely. And then I just kind of breathe and think about it. And I'm like, you know what? this is not going to benefit me. And this is just a mindless thing that it doesn't mean anything. Like I'm really trying to focus on like the things that make me feel happy and the things that like so I guess I just stop and recognize it. Like it's actually that knowing, like the understanding of it. Because before I knew, I'm like, I don't want to be doing this stuff. Like if it's not benefiting me or if it's self-sabotage. But now I actually know all of the ways that you show me that are actually self-sabotage. And I'm like, wow, like this is
Mm,
all ego. And I'm telling my ego, no, no, no. I'm like, I talk to my ego. I'm like, no,
yeah, I
this,
love that. I love that.
yeah,
What do they say? Awareness is everything, right? Bringing awareness
yes,
to it.
be more
You
aware.
know, in the spiritual world, I know a lot of this stuff can be like new age, hippy dippy, woo woo stuff. But I mean, if you're
Yeah,
watching, if you made it all the way this far, chances are you're being drawn to it. So
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
But you know, it really is about bringing that shadow into the light, right? When we bring the
yeah,
shadow into the light, when we recognize it, then we can release it. If we don't recognize it, it's not gonna stay there. It's gonna stay there. It's gonna hide in the dark
exactly.
corners, right? Like the dirt and the clutter.
Yep,
I love that.
exactly.
And Vivian's here. Vivian's a part of the Sacred Self Empowered,
Hi, Vivian.
the Nourish Your Temple community too, as
Yeah,
well, and Sacred Self Empowered community.
yeah.
So lovely to see you here, Viv. And then I always like to ask on these types of conversations, because I know there's people who are on the fence. I have had dozens of women apply for the Nourish Your Temple program, dozens of women, and few of them have booked calls and taken that next action. So that
Mm,
shows me that they're interested. And when it comes time to actually making a time commitment of, okay, I'm going to sit down and have this conversation to see if it is a good fit or not, there's a little bit of resistance there. And I recognize it, but I want to hear from your perspective. If you were talking to somebody who was on the fence, they're like, I think I'm going to join this program, I'm just not sure I'm going to sleep on it. Is there anything that you would share with them?
well, I would share that, you know what, resistance is, I know because I felt a lot of resistance, but the thing that I'm realizing now on my journey is that it's each step, like it's even if it's a little step, it's a step that's bringing me closer to where I want to be. And like I think that if anybody was thinking about joining this program, I think they should just do it in a heartbeat because the resources, like the learning, um, it's so it just changes your perspective. And you know what? You'll learn a lot about yourself. You'll learn a lot about yourself and about your day-to-day habits and patterns that you even things you want to make changes on. And for myself, while I'm in here, I've had so many different things happen to me that have just happened naturally. So it was like my focus was on it and it just happened naturally. So I think it's just something, and it has to feel right for each person, of course, but it's very beautiful program.
Thank you. I really appreciate
Yes.
that. And I think you're right on the money with that one. I mean, if we let the ego call the shots, then we're always going to feel resistance, right?
Yep.
That's exactly what the ego is supposed to do, keep us nice and safe inside of our comfort zone. And whenever
Yep.
we take that step to fill out the application, it's like, oh, wait a second, I might do something scary. I might learn something about myself. I might heal. I might learn. I might grow. I'm never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. It's scary. I don't want to do it. Change my mind.
Yep. That's right.
Sarah's here too, and she said that she absolutely resonates with the self-sabotage. And yeah, you and me both, Sarah and Kiana and everybody else I know. But the difference is not everybody is bringing awareness to that resistance. So a lot of us, and you know myself included, or at least I used to, really let that self-sabotage get in the way in most of the things that I did. And yeah, it
Yeah.
still comes up all the time, but like you said, it's a lot easier to move through when we have that awareness.
Yeah.
And then one more question, actually two more questions.
Yeah.
Second last question. What has
Yeah.
been your favorite part of Nourish Your Temple so far? Thinking about all the weekly group coaching calls, the lessons, the Facebook community, the
Yeah.
check-ins, the work you're doing in your own time. What has been your favorite part?
For me, I think my number one favorite is just the community, like having the support from you guys, just knowing every Monday we're getting on Zoom and we're meeting and we're all like sharing, and it's just so supportive and it's just beautiful. And I've had so many shifts on those calls, like so many realizations and so many just like beautiful moments. And also, another thing, I know I'm saying like should be the one favorite, but also the lessons. I really, really, there's so much value in those lessons for me, like just having them and learning, and I just love it. Yeah.
I'm grateful. I'm glad you shared too, because I'm so grateful
Yeah.
to hear that. I've been coaching for 10
There's a
years,
lot.
and this is a
Yeah.
brand new program. It's a brand new
Yeah.
program. It's only been out since the beginning of 2025. And, I really appreciate the feedback because I've blended Muscles, Macros, Mindset, that program I ran for 7 years. And I blended that with Sacred Self Empowered, which I ran for 3 years. And I didn't know how they were going to mix together, but I'm really grateful to hear that.
And that's, yeah, the lessons actually talking about how, like, the different types of worthiness, like the type of, yeah, the different branches of worthiness wounds, like all the different rejection and all, all those things. And like learning that about myself and like how, and shamanism, oh my gosh, and how they align, it just aligns beautifully. And I think that that's another one of my favorite parts, like the lesson. And yeah, it's amazing.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Kiana. Okay, final
Yeah.
question, I promise. First, Vivian said absolutely one step forward and it brings clarity. Absolutely, Viv.
Yes.
Any last words that you want to share before we wrap this up tonight?
I just I I'm just feeling a lot of gratitude towards the program. And even if I felt resistance in certain areas of like, tracking my food or different things like that, I've I've gained so much. Like it's priceless, this program, because I've gained that much awareness and I feel changed. Like I'm not like I wasn't the same as when I started. Every day I wake up and I feel different and I'm doing different things. I'm doing things I love. So it's just a priceless program. And I just feel gratitude. That's
Wow. Thank
yeah.
you so much. I'm saying wow because I don't know if you remember this, Kiana, but on our very first call, our application call, when you were,
Yeah.
trying to see if it was a good fit for you, one of the things that I remember you saying was, I'm not doing the things I love anymore. And then for
Yeah.
you to just say, like, what a full circle moment. And I didn't, you guys, I have no idea what she's going to say when we show up here, okay? I
Yeah.
always say, let's just go on really quick because I don't want, don't want you to get cold feet. I don't want
Yeah.
anything like that. Like, let's just go in and I'm going to ask you some questions and just please be authentic. That's the only thing that I ask. I have no idea what she's going to say. And boom,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful full circle
Yeah.
moment.
That
Kiana,
is a full circle moment. That's the biggest thing. Like, and that's how I felt stuck in the beginning. And now it's like, I don't want to put all my focus on losing weight or, I feel like that has happened naturally. Like, I feel less bloated and stuff, but like, it's more so my day to day. Like, that is what I truly like. And that means a lot, right? To be able to do those things.
beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know
Thank
that
you.
listening to your words are going to absolutely inspire. And I see all these animals right now, you guys. I've got my desk in front of my window.
Yeah.
I saw two crows just go by just now, and there's two deer right here. I'm like, and I think all of these are significant. I like to keep my animal spirit book nice and close by. Crows are messengers. They also ward off evil. And deer
Yeah.
always remind us to be really gentle with ourselves. So
Yeah.
maybe somebody watching or you, Kiana, needed to hear that message. But again, thank you. I'm so, so, so grateful for your shares. I appreciate it.
For
You
sure.
guys all have a beautiful night. Thanks so much for watching. And if you made it all the way to the end, please give Kiana some love down below. She is doing the hard work.
See everybody. Have a good night.